Worry is a very powerful thing. It's amazing to me how it can be all-consuming, and our minds just keep ruminating over the same thing, thinking about, well, what if this? What if that? Jesus asked us not to worry for good reason, because it brings all sorts of stress and anxiety. You know, it's interesting to me that the things we worry about most are the things that we can't even control. A younger me once had a conversation with a very wise worker. We were working on my house, and I was just bent out of shape about this thing at work. And he said, "Why are you worrying? You can't control the outcome. If it happens, it happens. Why spend all this negative energy thinking about it and talking about this now?" That story really stuck with me. And then when I finally got in the room in the master's program, I found out that we are to focus on life mastery. That same energy that we would focus on worry, the thing that we can't change, we need to shift that and focus on the thing we can change. That's the difference between worry and having a focused life mastery experience. And in the master's program, the things you can control are the responsibility that God has given only you. We have a list of 10. They start with the personal realm: body, mind, soul, and spirit. All 4 of those things you can control. You can control your health. Your days are numbered, but you can cut them short. What are you focused on to keep yourself healthy? Your mind. One of the most powerful things that you have, the ability to choose and to think about things. You can think about what you're thinking about. You can change your thoughts. So focused on the mind and taking responsibility of what you do think of, particularly in the area of worry. Soul, the relationships that you have in life. You are responsible for your EQ, your emotional intelligence. You can have a really high emotional intelligence. What are you doing to make sure that you do? And then your spirit, that connection with the Trinity. Are you spending time investing in your ability and your opportunity to converse, to build relationship with God? And then the next things are your responsibilities as a father or a mother, as a wife or as a husband, and then as a worker in your career, and then as a steward of God's resources. Those 4 areas of investment are so critical, and take the need. They have the need for you to spend time and invest in them. Most people spend way too much time on their career and then neglect the most important relationship, that husband or that wife. What are you doing to invest in her, in him? And then kids, arguably one of the things we're responsible for most, not the Sunday school teacher or the teacher at school, but you are responsible for them. What are you pouring into them intentionally? What are the life lessons that they must hear? And then, yes, your career, you're responsible for that. Your resources, you have been, if you're an American and you're earning over $38,000 a year, you are in the top 1% of the world's wealth owners. What are you doing with that resource that has a kingdom difference? And then the last 2 things, your kingdom calling to the church and to the world, to the Christian in discipleship and to the pre-Christian in telling them about Jesus, going and baptizing them. You know, you can spend a lot of time worrying and a lot of useless catastrophizing about what ifs and things that you can't control. Or you can use that same energy to refocus on life mastery, the 10 areas that God's given only you to manage. And in the master's program, we want you to shift that energy to the things you can control, the outcomes that God has put in your authority and your responsibility. That's the life that will be full to the full as Jesus asked us. I'm Rob Dayton with the Master's Program, and we're in your corner.